सर्वेषां नमस्ते सुप्रभातम् प्रार्थना ओम श्री गुरुगणेशाभ्यां नमः हरिः ओम वाक्कर्ता इव सम्पृक्तौ वाक्कर्त प्रतिपत्तये जगतपितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ भूमौ स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जाता पराधानां त्वमेव शरणं शिवे. Good morning, all dignitaries, guests, and delegates. With great Ananda, I feel privileged to welcome to all present here for the National Web Conference Samsiddhi 2020, conducted by Ayurveda College, Koyambatore and powered by Diksha e-learning. Now, I invite Dr. Sudhir Raj N, Principal, Ayurveda College, Koyambatore, to greet and welcome today's guest speaker. Sir, please. Sir.
A very good morning to all. Welcome to our national webinar series Samsiddhi 2020 conducted by Ayurveda College Coimbatore and powered by Diksha e-learning. I thank all the participants and dignitaries for taking time out and being here today. Samsiddhi series started in the year 2016 and conducted it for 2 years. And now, as a continuation, we are conducting National Webinar Conference, which includes different topics from all the branches of Ayurveda and will extend up to 9th of August 2020. As the word Samsiddhi indicates, perfection or success, we, the Samsiddhi team, working hard to achieve the goal. For the successful conduction of this series, your suggestions and comments are valuable. Today, on the 6th session of Samsiddhi 2020, we are graced with the presence of great personality, Dr. Chandkiran Saluja sir, who is a great teacher of Sanskrit, social science, and political science. He had written many books on Sanskrit and other subjects. He is an educational reformer, and presently he is working president of Samskrita Bharati. Today, he is going to talk on Ayurveda and Sanskrit, that is Ayurveda Samskritam. With immense pleasure and gratitude, I welcome you on behalf of the all Samsiddhi team. I welcome all the participants from all over the India and abroad who join with us today. My special thanks to all the faculties and students who had worked hard as a team for making this event a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. इदानीन्तन काले प्रधानम् आयुर्वेदं प्रधानं तत्रापि प्रधानम् आयुर्वेदस्य ज्ञानं तन्निमित्तम् आवश्यकं संस्कृतस्य अवगमनम् अतः आगच्छन्तु शृण्मः संस्कृतेन आयुर्वेदम्. Before starting the session, I would like to go through few of the basic instructions to be followed throughout the session. For uninterrupted class session, use a laptop with a high-speed internet connection. Please make sure your microphone is on mute to have a disturbance-free session. In case of any disruption, please check your internet connection firstly, and if the problem is with our network connection, kindly raise the issue in the chat box. Filling your full name is to be displayed is appreciated. Any question can be raised in the chat box. Question raised in the chat box will be cleared at the end of the session. Next, I would like to invite Srimati Niranjana KJ, Assistant Professor, Department of Samhita and Siddhanta, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the welcome address.
Namaste. Adya Charag Jayanti, Adaha Pradhamam Ayurvedacharya Charagam Namaskritya Arambham Gurmaha. Ayurveda Kalalaye Ayojita Samsiddhi 2020 Madhye Bhagam Swigardanam Sarvesham Krite Swagadam Pranamam Cha. अद्य अस्माकं प्रार्थनां स्वीकृत्य अत्र सन्निहितः अस्ति आचार्य डॉक्टर चान्दकिरण सलूजा महोदयः. भवतः सान्निध्ये वयम् अत्यन्तं सन्तुष्टाः भवामः. प्रथमं संस्कृतोपासकः महोदयस्य पादारविन्दे नमस्कारान् अर्पयामि. महोदयः संस्कृतभारत्याः पूर्वतन अखिलभारत अध्यक्षः, इदानीं संस्कृतसंवर्धनप्रतिष्ठानस्य निर्देशकः अपि अस्ति. तद्विना भिन्न भिन्न सर्वकारीय नीतिसंस्थासु अपि महोदयस्य महनीय सान्निध्यं वर्तते एव। महोदयः तस्य जीवनं संस्कृताय अर्पितमस्ति, अतः एव राष्ट्रपतिना सम्मानितः अपि। शैक्षणिकविषये महोदयस्य प्रागल्भ्यम् अद्य शिक्षणकौशलस्य अनुभूतिः अपि वयमपि अद्य अनुभवामः। तदर्थम् आयुर्वेदकलालयपक्षतः मम पक्षतः अपि महोदयं हार्दिकस्वागतं व्याहरामि। भवद्भिः वाग्भिः अस्मान् उद्बोधयतु इति अपि प्रार्थयामि। सर्वेषां कृते एकवारम् अपि स्वागतम् अर्पयामि।
हार्दिक धन्यवादः मैम। It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Chand Kiran Saluja, sir, Academic Director, Sanskrit Promotion Foundation, New Delhi. Sir got his graduation and post-graduation from University of Delhi. Post-graduation in Hindi, Sanskritam and linguistics helped in sharpening the linguistic skills. Sir has a special interest in education. Sir also received his PhD from University of Delhi. Sir had taught in school for 9 years, then joined Department of Education, Delhi University in 1983 and got voluntary retirement in October 2013. Now, Sir is working as an academic director in Sanskrit Promotion Foundation since November 2013. Sir is well known for his academic skills, and Sir is also an expert in the legal perspectives of education as well. Sir guided 18 students at PhD level, about 30 students at MPhil level, and about 150 students at MEd level. Sir has published 6 books on education, 10 Sanskrit books for Samskrita Bharati as coordinator, 18 books under MHRD project for self-learning Sanskrit. Sir is also associated with many non-profit organizations and foundations as a convener of Sanskrit Curriculum Committee, CBSE, member of Academic Committee, Haryana Educational Board, working president, Samskrita Bharati, advisor, Samskrita books by Samskrita Bharati, USA. Currently, Sir is a board of management of Rashtriya Samskrita Samsthan and member of the High Power Committee on the Teacher Education. As being a crown of all, Sir got the prestigious President Award for Asmakam Madhura Bhasha Asti Samskrita Bhasha in 2019. Sir also awarded with Vishwa Bharati Puraskar Award by Government of Uttar Pradesh for the year 2019-20. We, Ayurveda College Coimbatore family, is feeling very proud to have you in the session, sir. That too in our auspicious occasion of Charaka Jayanti, sir. Now, without any further ado, we will turn the time over to our most respected sir, Dr. Chand Kiran Saluja, sir, to enlighten our minds. Adanasya pradhanasya kartavyasya karmanah shipram akriyamanasya kalah pipati tatrasaha. Aduna asmin shubhadine kalasya uttama upayogartham ayurvedasya bhasha samskritam asti tasya pradhanyam kim ityapi asmakam krite मार्गदर्शनं कुर्वन्तु इति महोदयं प्रार्थयामि।
धन्यवादः। भवन्तः बहु अधिकम् उक्तवन्तः। अत्र अस्य महाविद्यालयस्य प्रधानाचार्यजी सुधीर राज जी अस्ति। सो महोदयस्य कृते कृतज्ञताम् अपि ज्ञापयामि। अन्ये अध्यापकाः सन्ति तेषां कृते अपि। अद्य वयं यथा उक्तम् अस्ति, वयं संस्कृत आयुर्वेद च उभयोः यः सम्बन्धः अस्ति तस्मिन् सन्दर्भे किञ्चित् चर्चां करिष्यामः। पुनः चरक जयन्ती अस्ति इति उक्तमपि अस्ति, वर्धापनमपि अहं यच्छामि। यत्किञ्चित् अहम् अद्य वदिष्यामि मूलतः संस्कृतेन परन्तु आङ्ग्लभाषायाः प्रयोगमपि करिष्यामि। यथा उक्तम् अस्ति, as it is said, I will use both the languages, both the mediums, Sanskrit as well as English, so the message can be conveyed to you. मम मुख्य प्रयासः भविष्यति भवन्तः सन्देशं प्राप्स्यन्ति। अद्य यत्किञ्चित् अहं वदिष्यामि अस्माकं पुरतः मुख्यतः केचन बिन्दवः तत्र भविष्यन्ति। प्रथमम् अहं स्लाइड मध्ये भवन्तः द्रक्ष्यन्ति संस्कृत संवर्धन प्रतिष्ठानस्य संदर्भे किञ्चित् परिचयं दास्यामि, अधिकं न, यतः समयः अस्माभिः सह न्यूनः अस्ति। We have very short time because after that I have one other meeting with Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, so about between 1 hour and 1.5 hours we will get the time. We have produced some books on Ayurvedartham Sanskritam. Ashtang Hridayamati अधिकृत्य we have produced some books. तस्मिन् सन्दर्भे अपि किञ्चित् चर्चां करिष्यामि, परन्तु मुख्यतः मम उद्देश्यं तत्र भविष्यति किमर्थं संस्कृतम् अनिवार्यमस्ति आयुर्वेदं पठितुं। तत्र अस्माकं मुख्य विषयः। My main objective will be to discuss with you why Sanskrit is needed, necessary for Ayurveda. I will take some examples and there will be different dimensions. Bhavantah drakshyanti tatra vibhinnah ayamah santi. For our professional growth as Ayurveda Chikitsak, as a doctor, we need Sanskritam iti. हम उसे भी देखेंगे, we will see that also. प्रारंभे हम यथा उक्तवान् किञ्चित् संस्कृत संवर्धन प्रतिष्ठान संदर्भे वयं किं कुर्मः इति वदामि। वयम् अत्र प्रायः संस्कृत शिक्षण अध्ययन स्वाध्याय सामग्र्यः निर्माणं कुर्मः, श्रव्य दृश्य सामग्र्यः निर्माणं कुर्मः, अध्यापक प्रशिक्षण सामग्र्यः निर्माणं कुर्मः, योग संदर्भे वयं वीडियोस् अपि दत्तवन्तः, एवमेव पुस्तकानि अपि। विशेषतया आयुर्वेदम् इति अधिकृत्य चत्वारि तत्र 6 पुस्तकानि निर्मितानि सन्ति वीडियो सहितं। ये अपि इच्छन्ति तत्र द्रक्ष्यन्ति। यदि समयः प्राप्यते अद्य न तु पुनः कदापि चर्चां करिष्यामि कथं वयं तत्र कार्यं कृतवन्तः। तया दृष्ट्या वयं किञ्चित् द्रक्ष्यामः। पुनः वयं संस्कृत माध्यमेन आधुनिक ये विषयाः सन्ति तत्रापि वयं कार्यं कृतवन्तः। अतः तस्मिन् सन्दर्भे अपि वयं द्रक्ष्यामः। यथा उक्तवान् मुख्यम् उद्देश्यम् अस्माकं भविष्यति संस्कृतम् आयुर्वेदः च उभयोः कः सम्बन्धः अस्ति, तस्मिन् सन्दर्भे वयं मुख्यरूपेण कार्यम् अधुना चर्चां करिष्यामः। मित्राणि, पूर्वं वयं किञ्चित् पश्यामः यत् यदि वयम् आयुर्वेदः वदामः, how can we understand it through Sanskritam? अनेकानि उदाहरणानि अग्रे आगमिष्यन्ति. We will see ample examples. But here when I say Ayurveda, we simply say medical science. But when I say Ayu or Ved, we should understand Ayu has so many meanings and it is not medically. We will see the meaning, again it will come to us. But when I say Ved, it has basically 4 meanings: knowing, reflection, existence, and attaining. It means who may know, reflect, experience, and attain knowledge about health. Though I have used the word here simply health, but it is not only health. Ayu has so many meanings, what we will see later on. If we don't know the meaning of Ayu, we cannot understand the actual meaning of Ayurveda. It is not simply medical science. Even health, it has different connotations, different meanings. If I don't know Sanskrit, naturally I can't understand the actual meaning of this. Then we will see and it is very much known to us. Ayurvedasya granthaha मूलतः संस्कृतेन एव लिखितः, परन्तु यदा अद्य वयं प्रायः पश्यामः एतेषां ग्रन्थानाम् अध्ययनं प्रायः न भवति एव संस्कृतेन. Yes, in colleges we have संहिता विभागः, तत्र संस्कृत संदर्भे एकः पाठ्यक्रमः अस्ति, तस्य द्वारा वयं किञ्चित् प्रशिक्षणं यच्छामः. We study Sanskrit as one paper, but we basically go through translation, and translation has its limitation. We will see later on. So we say basically Ayurveda books are written in Sanskrit, but gradually the tradition of studying these through Sanskrit is not followed. Almost translation material is used. अहं चिन्तयामि तत्र बहु सीमा अपि अस्ति. As we will go ahead, we will see that also. अतः अस्माकं पुरतः प्रश्नः भविष्यति, आयुर्वेदस्य ग्रन्थान् यदि अहम् अनुवाद द्वारा पठामि, do I get the whole knowledge? Do I understand actually through through translation? There are so many reasons. We will see. Kimartam sanskritam avashyakam. I'm not saying we can't study. Yes, we have to take help. We have to take the help of all the languages. That's true. But there are so many other factors which we can't understand if we don't know the Sanskrit. So it is necessary for us to think the need of Sanskrit for studying the Ayurveda. When we will say this, I can have some dimensions. For example, from social perspective, it becomes necessary to study Ayurveda from social perspective through Sanskrit. Why? We will see it. Medicinal perspective, औषधि दृष्टया, even linguistic perspective, भाषा विज्ञान दृष्टया भी वयं पश्यामः. भाषा दृष्टया, the language used in any book originally, native language, it may have so many different meanings, as we will see about ayu iti shabdam adhikritya vayam drakshyamah. But when we translate something, we take one meaning. If you see good dictionary, यदि भवन्तः एक सम्यक् रूपेण शब्दकोशं पश्यन्ति, कस्यापि एकस्य शब्दस्य एकः अर्थः न भवति. No word has a single meaning. There are different dimensions. Either it is English or Sanskrit or Hindi or Tamil, any language. You see the good dictionary, you will see so many uses also in which direction or which dimension we are using the word. In the same way, when a granth is written, the period in which it is written, kala yasmin kale esha grantha likhita asti samadik sthitah kidrshah asan. The terminology is used at that time. I can't understand it today. So there are so many other granth like Bhashya. To understand original text, we need Bhashya also. And we will see many Bhashyas are not translated. So I can't get the meaning of that one. Even for research, we need today Sanskrit. If anyone wants to study, to do something research, keeping Ayurveda in mind, aham chintayami tatrapi sanskritasya avashyakta bhavishyati. Yadi kopi na sanskritam janati katham granthan drakshati. We will see further also in this way. Again, all these things are interrelated. Even pedagogical issues are involved in it. If a teacher does not know, then what will he or she miss? यदि कोऽपि कापि अध्यापकः अध्यापिका वा संस्कृतं न जानाति, तदा कथम पाठयिष्यति तस्य पाठनम कथम प्रभावितम भविष्यति तत्रपि अस्माभिः चिन्तनीयम्. Because when we say pedagogical issues, then social environment, as I gave some hint, psychological environment, which includes emotional and intellectual, that is also necessary. And Ayurvedartham Sanskritam anivaryam asti. When I say social perspective, it's very important. See, if you study today or when you see medical science, there was a time when we study the principles of what are given to for the health. But nowadays, if you see, there is a special paper in so many institutions of the universities or in the medical science, that is sociological perspective of health. Sociological perspective of medical science. If you don't go anywhere, just see Google and write something, social perspective or sociological perspective of medical science. You will get too much material. Slowly and gradually, it is coming. Yet if I can't understand the society, I can't understand the problems of health also. Why I'm saying this? Naturally, when Ayurveda was written, we should understand that society also. And today, how can we correlate it? If I want to understand that society, यदि हम तम समाजम अवगन्तुम इच्छामि, स्वाभाविकमस्ति संस्कृतस्य आवश्यकता भविष्यति. I was going through one book, it was written, health is a state of complete well-being, physical, mental, and emotional. Now, when we say complete well-being, though there are three words used here, physical, mental, and emotional, but if you see Ayurveda, it is incomplete. Why? Ayurveda is basically based on Indian traditional granthas. In Upanishad, for Vyaktitva, personality development, or the health has been explained in other way. There are 4 dimensions, rather 5 dimensions. In Taittiriya Upanishad, they talk of 5 perspectives. One is Annamaya Koshaha, Taittiriya Upanishad. That means my physical body, Annamaya Kosha. Anna, what is Anna? Anna is not only Bhojan, so many other things. Ad dhatu asti. Ad root is there. Khana, to eat. And there are so many things and how process work. Keeping that thing in mind, they say Annamaya Kosha. Then they talk of Pranamaya Kosha. When I say physical, it is only physical. It may include prana, but it is very clearly written in Upanishad. When we are talk the personality of a person, then Pranamaya Kosh is also there. For that, Yoga is also there. Though some people say Charak is Patanjali and Yoga is written by, that is a historical, and I am not going in that way, in that direction, but it is very clear. Ayurveda has mentioned Yoga also, and there pranas come. So I can't rely only on physical, mental, and emotional only. Yes, mental and emotional. Manomaya koshaha, Vijnanamaya koshaha, Tat Paschat Anandamaya koshaha. 5 perspectives. If you see Ayurveda, all these 5 perspectives have been dealt. Because there are so many other books which are to be consulted. But if I don't know Sanskrit, I can just only rely 1 or 2 words, translated words, and that cannot give the full picture. And I can't have very good control on Ayurveda. Yes, I can work. Working knowledge will be there. We will teach. But to consult other Sanskrit books and to get the actual meaning of it, because when they write Ayurveda, they can't explain all aspects, but they refer. We have to see other grantha also. Anye grantha api santi yesham adhyanam asmabhi karaniyam. It is very clearly said here Medicine is the social institution that diagnoses, treats, and prevents disease. To accomplish these tasks, medicine depends upon most other sciences, including life and earth sciences, chemistry, physics, and engineering. And it is called interrelated approach or integration. Antah-shastriya, interdisciplinary approach. What does it mean? Why I'm quoting this one? The reason is when Aushadhis are there in Ayurveda, those are very much related to the environment as it is written. Today it is written, including life and earth sciences. And we see at that time how they brought medicines before us or Aushad. And Aushad is actually not medicine. We will see that also. That means a complete food. If we go this etymologically, but it is very clear at that time, Yesham namani tatra ullikhitani sante Ayurvede. We can't translate those. We can't translate those. It means I cannot get the whole picture. Many times, many good authors quote the same word. They place the same word. If I don't know Sanskrit, then it will be difficult for us to understand that. And I think for good practice that will be needed, and for this Aushad Swarupam, medicine krite api sanskritasya avashyakta karanam samajena sah sambandha asti tasmin kale kidashah samajah asit yadi ham na janami swabhavikam asti ham aushadam ipi medicine iti avgantum samarthah na bhavishyami. Then at that time, what type of chemistry, physics, or the yantriki tatrasi? Again, it is very interesting. Preventive medicines, they are talking of preventive medicine. We know actually Adhara Ayurvedasya Roganam Durikaranam tu asti eva parantu asmakam प्रतिरोधात्मकी शक्ति तादृशी भवेत् रोगः अस्माकं समीपे एव न आगच्छेयुः. That's why preventive medicines, for that health habit and prevent disease, this point is raised, and I think in Ayurveda this point has been brought very clearly. But when we see the translation, I think we get one idea only, and this has been explained in so many granthas, not only in Ayurveda. This Charak Samhita, which is in course, it is in Bhav Prakash, it is so many books are there. You know it better than me because you are the basically student of Ayurveda. And I think if we don't know the Sanskrit, we cannot consult other books also. In the past, society considered conditions such as chemical dependency, whether drug or alcohol based, as character weaknesses, and denied those who suffered from addiction the sick road. Today, drug rehabilitation program and broader cultural generally recognize addiction as a disease, even though the term disease is medically contested. That again shows how society is related to it, how environment is related to it. Because when we are talking about environment, if I can't understand the environment in which Ayurveda was written, and that cannot be understood only by translations. Translation, I again say, I am not denying translation, but translation has limitations. And I say, if I want professionally to be sound, naturally, we have to understand Ayurveda from so many granthas, and we have to understand the society. And that is again, as I told, social base of the medical science. Then we see social determinants of health and medicine, what I have brought, that leads to cultural aspect of disease in medicine. And when I say cultural aspects, for Ayurveda, culture comes from Sanskrit. If I really want to understand social determinants or the cultural aspect of health, medicines, and the diseases, etc., naturally that environment is to be understood, and that is based on Sanskrit. And it is very interesting. When we see different kavyas, poetry application is there. I have seen so many kavyas, so many poetic books, how the things have been explained. Even to understand, we will see later on, even to understand Ayurveda, we need principles of poetics. काव्य शास्त्र से सिद्धांतानाम अपि आवश्यकता भविष्यति वयम् अग्रे द्रक्ष्यामः चरक संहितायां तंत्र युक्ति संदर्भे उक्तम् अस्ति तत् कथं सन्ति स्ट्रेटेजीज युक्तः वयं द्रक्ष्यामः but naturally to understand any aspect of any discipline culture is needed, and in Indian context especially with reference to Ayurveda, because I told in the beginning Ayurveda is written in Sanskrit, so Sanskrit will give us the to understand the cultural background of the Ayurveda. See, translation has many limitations, like these are some points. Because we have short time, I am giving only point wise. There are so many meanings of a single word. As I told, if we see the good dictionary, we find many uses of the word in different context. Appropriateness is to be checked, and that is to be checked through the original granthas, and original granthas are written in Sanskrit. We know this also. Time has gone. We can't understand that also. Even at that time, they wrote in sutras, they wrote in shlokas. People at that time also there was a difficulty. So many people wrote bhashyas on that. Commentaries are there, and those commentaries are written in Sanskrit. So clarity is given in bhashyas or the commentaries which are given in Sanskrit. If I don't understand the Sanskrit, naturally I can't study those bhashyas or the commentaries or get the gist of what is said. That's why many books are in this field. Every book has a special context and clarifies some special importance aspect. तत् अनेके ग्रंथाः सन्ति, प्रत्येकं ग्रन्थस्य एकः विशेषः सन्दर्भः वर्तते, परिप्रेक्ष्यं तत्र वर्तते, and through that only we understand. And if we don't know Sanskrit, because those are written in Sanskrit, we can't understand that is said here. It becomes necessary to consult that all those books which are not translated, professional growth and development, but translation of those books are not available. Like there is a beautiful encyclopedia of Ayurveda, Ayurvediya Mahakosha. It is written in Sanskrit and Marathi. I have this and I was looking it like this. Beautifully, terminology has been explained. Beautifully, all the quotations have been taken from different granthas. Only Marathi is used there or Sanskrit is used. In Marathi, they have given gist. But when I went through the Sanskrit portion, it was really for me. Though I don't understand, I don't know Ayurveda much, but after seeing that, so many things are clear to me. I have quoted some examples when we go ahead. So Ayurveda Mahakosh in Sanskrit and Marathi is available, but it is not available in that way in translated. It is not translated. So how can I understand it? That is again a question to me. Likely, Amar Koshaha, Shabda Kalpadrumaha, Vachaspatyam, Vrikshayurveda, etc. There are so many such type of books in which we can get the meaning, and books are not available. Translations are not frequently. We may get some old edition, but that is again not. I have seen so many libraries, translations are not available. But to understand Ayurveda properly, these are needed.